Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney. We're getting somewhere with the case. We discovered that an old crazy man, I'm just gonna call him, was possibly the person that got brain damage in the DL6 incident, and at least that's my theory. I'm not sure if I'm correct. That's my theory, but I think he's the man in the DLC that got so oxygen deprived that he got brain damaged. Which, by the way, are elevators oxygen like proof or something? Like, do they only let in oxygen when the doors are open? Because that just sounds like a safety hazard if people are trapped in there. But anyway. Let's continue with day 3, the trial. Okay. Oh, I forgot it was him. Give me back Edgeworth. I like fighting him way more in court. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, apparently prosecution is also ready. Who's the judge here anyway? Mr. von Garmer, your opening statement. Very well, no opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Because of the insane man. The old man, I will be nice. Order, Mr. von Kammer, what's the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I will call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness to my stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. And he is sleeping. Witness, state your profession. I'm a proprietary of the restaurant The Wet Noodle at Grand Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were at the boat rental shop, correct? Yup, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. Still haven't heard this old guy is. Raise an objection. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask. Well, just because you haven't asked him yet doesn't mean he should state his name. Shouldn't state his name. I've predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trifle questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. This witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure, yup. What do you mean? My memory, Your Honor. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let's hear this testimony. And shall we? Witness? It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yup. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. When I heard a bang, yup. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then the boat comes back to shore and the man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There is nothing to question in my witness testimony. Ergo, there's no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left. I don't care about your 3 minutes! Judge, your verdict now, yes, Mr. Wright? Why would I not want to cross-examinate? What are you saying? Of course I will cross-examinate the witness. Very well. You may begin. Suffer. Excuse me, Mr. von Karma. 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. I like how he moves. Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, who is the man? By your window. Yup, by my window, right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. That's a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tsk, tsk, tsk. I have a bad feeling about this. That the man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Ew. Are you sure you heard him right? Are you sure? Uh-oh. That Sergeant Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, and he was walking by too. Where did he? Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. Oh, did he have a heart attack? This sounds like a decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt, Von Karma. He will lure me into the cross-examination so he could set me up for a fall. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Me neither. Everyone in this courtroom is glaring at us. Better act quick or this trial is going to be over. Raise an objection. Your Honor, we've proven in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing the man firing with his left hand? Exactly. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You're ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness testimony is true. Judge is lost in thoughts. What should I do? Do we fully trust this dude? Besides, I can't believe he's dead. I'm more like the dude told him. Okay, my theory at the moment. The dude in the boat told him that the man who killed his father was dead. Something like that. Your Honor. This witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead, but his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently you have yet to realize even that. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good, there's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please, can you hear me, sis? We need you. We really need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes was perhaps too high of an expectation. However, 50 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. And now if the witness may leave the stand. He is sleeping. Oh... This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This one is giving me so much stress because the stress is that they're always on the verge of just saying guilty. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpreting of the facts. What? No. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Wells Edgeworth, guilty. Did I do something wrong? The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at the higher court within a month from today's date. That's all. This court is adjourned. Did I lose? Wait! Not again. Who was that just now? Me. Huh? What? Larry? What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about that until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Oh. Order. What's the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yes, I did. A gunshot. That night. I was sitting here in the audience, listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remembered. Anyway, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I will testify. Let me testify. He's so nice. Order. Order. Well, this is the first time something like this has happened, like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you have already given your decision. The trial's over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance for this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. Doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there's any witness in it's our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. A verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it's our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Ooh. I like this. Mr. von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? The court will adjourn for 5 minutes recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Okay. Court is adjourned. Phew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. Just wondered what Larry's plan is to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night? Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something, right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right, yeah. This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witness, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to success. This is the first time he has ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of false, right? That's right, Nick. No 10 minutes trials this time. We're milking this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15! Everyone's on Larry now. Or did it say everything? That would make more sense. Or everyone as in like they're all kind of bullying him. I don't know. Oh. Okay. Court is back in session now. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate it. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. Just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back at the rental dock. And just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked over at the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusual fake testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. You have no idea what's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've gone this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. Okay, my thing is, I know he heard the single gunshot. What he probably heard... Okay, hold up. Let me go... So, after I heard the single gunshot... First off, I find it weird that it has been fired 3 times. I heard 2 sounds that... 2 sounds. Oh, and that is... yeah. Lotta says 2 sounds. The old man says 2 sounds. Larry says 1 and he left after. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You sure? Yeah, that's what I said. But Miss Lotta testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here, so you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Oh, Mr. Butts, what? You only heard 1 gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure? Could he not be sure? The only way that I could see him not being sure is if the 2 gunshots basically went off roughly the same time, which wasn't the case because people could look up, I think, but that he was standing next to like trees by the lake house and that someone in there was hiding with like a gun or something. I don't know. Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude. With my headphones. What? Order, order, and stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio in your headphones. Yeah, so what? What is that a crime? Let's do my radio. Everyone listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I don't accept this witness, nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue testimony? Yeah, because he's our only hope. That's legit. If Edgeworth say he's the only hope, he is our only hope. Your Honor, please allow this witness to continue his testimony. Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and make sure to include the details of your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't. If there were any other way out of this, believe me. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to the All Request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it, really booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. That can be important. If we grab the radio and we can go back. You were listening to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? I truly believe Ray has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? When he heard what was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. No, but what I want to say, when I accidentally realized my finger was still pressing in enter. They're saying, or what Larry said, about knowing what the DJ said. If we go to that night, to that recording, we can figure out what time the first gunshot went off, right? True enough. It's difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness says that he remembered exactly what the DJ was saying when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Oh. Very well, Mr. Wright. Can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Okay, we're gonna press him. If even Phoenix thinks it's important. What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease this pointless questioning. What possible good could knowing what the radio DJ said... Indeed, Mr. von Karma has a point. I will allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, huh? Very well. Mr. Butt, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcement saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. It's almost Christmas. Hold up. So this must have been when this shot was taken. By an empty lake, so he didn't see a boat. Just after midnight. Okay. Which one of the two? We already used this one, so part of me is leaning more towards the photo. But I feel like the evidence of the loud sounds won't be enough. I can lose 2 points if needed. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face, dude? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better... No, I don't scare that easily. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor. Did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost... Oh, not back with the void sparkling eyes. Okay. The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But it contradicts the two testimonies we've heard so far, Your Honor. Both Mr. Howard and Old Man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Ooh. But he's gonna say that it's like Larry's fault, right? Order. What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard the gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard the gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright? What do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before? I believe him. We have the picture. I'm still annoyed that we didn't have the chance to use it for now. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this Welch claim. Show me the evidence that there was a gunshot before midnight. I can finally use it! Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Mr. Lotte Hart, with a automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh? But there was nothing on the lake, it seems, in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why there is nothing shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Ah, correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then, where does that leave us? Mr. Hart testified that you heard the gunshot after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It's the third bullet. Sorry. In fact, the camera was also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots within a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera was set to respond to loud noises, yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why the witness would have sneezed triggered the camera. Hey, my noise was clear that night, man, clear. Well, Mr. Wright? There's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed the gunshot? Please show the court that it was shot 3 times? It was shot 3 times? That's my only argument? I'm running on fumes here, dude, please. This is my evidence. It's showing a picture, so I have hope. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday had heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. Then was the last shot fired? Only now I've realized the truth. The 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order. What would make sense, the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 50 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why? Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. Ah. What's wrong, Nick? I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the steel samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murder in that case was the same idea as the murder in that case. What do you mean? Maya, yes? If you don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch. I'm going to run with it. Right, I mean, is it this safe? Safe? We've already gotten the guilty verdicts. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if there's anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick? Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. It has? What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth? There can be no other murder than Mel's Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. By the way, which boat is big enough that someone can stand 1 meter apart and shoot? 1 meter is quite far. Especially in a boat. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, 1 boat was on the lake. That was shown by the witness photographed. The defendant Edgeworth was the victim and the victim Robert Hammond were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, that guilty party has to be the other man on the boat. I admit, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 50 minutes after midnight. Can you survive 25 minutes with a bullet in your heart? What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15 minutes past midnight, but Larry heard the gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who these two men on the boat are. Edgeworth and the murderer? Okay. I'm gonna follow Phoenix's logic, so it can't be the murderer and Hammond. We believe Edgeworth is innocent, right? So then it cannot have been Edgeworth and Hammond, because that would make Edgeworth guilty. The only other option is Edgeworth and the murderer, which is insane. Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth wouldn't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond was called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all of this. Lugubrious. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right. It's... I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah, again, you waste my time. I don't know, because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest, the real scene of the crime was not the boat. What? Well, then where did this murder take place? Boat shop? I mean, in the gate. The men dragged the body all the way into the water. Can't be here, cause Lotta would have heard. 11:50. I doubt it was here. Let's just put it that way. Could have been. Doubted. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. We have any proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime. Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. I like how the boat moves. That night he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then just as he's starting to head home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat, the boat shop? Mr. Wright, what happened that night on the Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? No, not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammett to his shop. Okay. This was around 11:50. When the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put Robert Hammett's coat on. He became Robert Hammond. And he got into the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop caretaker? Because it wasn't... Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes. Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. You know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations, it's the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness? Because it isn't because the first shot missed, because then he would just shot a fourth and a fifth and until it hit. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot, and ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Mr. Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and fires again. Then, he throws himself into the water. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. Someone looking from the edge of the lake. It would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired the night on the Gourd Lake. And it is silent again. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defendant had to say. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright had said is mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop at the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir, bailiff. We are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him, quickly! We cannot allow him to get away. Was the old man just fooling us? But if he has memory issues from oxygen, did it magically fix himself? Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. Goes without saying, I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilizes all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Yeah, Nick, you did it. Yippee. Yeah. Well, at least he got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I shifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our case weren't so down on the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on the trial instead of our clients. Hey Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like we're probably going to get off the hook. You probably tried to smell a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. Memory of the crime that I committed. Crime you committed? Did you shoot your own dad? A memory of a murderer. Did he shoot his own dad? If that's gonna be the result, I'm gonna be very sad. I wanna thank everyone for watching. This is wild. This is honestly just wild. But at least we're almost done. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye!